Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, English Made Easy by Mrs. Rachna Chakravarti. So I hope you all are doing fine, and after a long gap, I'm back once again with the explanation of the poem, The Pule. I hope you all have been doing great, and without fail, let us start with the explanation of the poem, The Pule by George Herbert. So before that, those who have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do quickly subscribe to it. And if you have any doubts, put it in the comment section. And what more new topics would you like to know from me? Put it in the comment section so that I can come up with it and the explanation of it. So remember, it's only in this comments that we can communicate. So please do write all your valuable comments, as your comments makes me motivate to the new video. So let us move ahead with the explanation of the poem, The Pulling. So let us first start with a little synopsis of the poet George Herbert and who he was. We should all know that he was a Welsh born poet and an Anglican priest born into an artistic and wealthy family, admitted to Trinity College, Cambridge, with the intention of becoming a priest. He became his university's public orator. He attracted the attention of King James the First and served in the parliament also. After the death of King James, his interest in becoming a priest was renewed. So finally, he turned in to be a priest. So to know about him, we need to know the poems which he has written. The poem Pule is based on the idea that God pulls human towards himself with the pulle of restlessness. So the poem exhibits a strange but two-way relationship between God and his worshippers. So let us see a little more about what is this pulle. So you can see here, I have tried to take out the pulley is a device which helps you to pull out things. We can have it in any form. It might be like a wheel where a rope is tied. So basically, pulley is a mechanical device used for pulling the things. Here, the poet has very calculatively used the word pulley to pull out all the qualities which God has given to man and what God doesn't want to give it to man. So the poem will quickly explain to that. Though here God, he has showered everything to his worshippers with all his blessings. Somewhere he also expects something in return. It's very true that if he is giving us everything, he just returns as becoming selfish and he wants something in return from us also. So, with that, the soul of the poem is the uniqueness with which a religious notion is explored through a secular scientific image of Pule. So, the image of Pule is used throughout the poem just to correlate the action of God and human being. So let us see what the poem has in store for us. Moving on with the poem, we come to the first paragraph, the poem The Pule by George Herbert. When God at first made man, having a glass of blessing standing by, let us, said he, pour on him all we can. Let the world's riches which dispersed lie contract into a span. So he first wanted to say that the process of creation may God instructs his adversaries to grant man with different blessings and boons. God wishes that all the wealth of the world and all the good qualities be present in human beings. He said that let us make this human being equipped with all the best things in itself. He wanted to bless man with everything possible in this earth. So let the world's riches, well dispersed lie, contract into a span. He said that into a span means into a small space. Let everything get contracted into a small, collect together into a small space. Contract means collect together into a small space, that is this human body or into this human being. Let us bless him with everything what he needs. So I hope the first stanza is clear. Let us move on to the next stanza. Now, in the second stanza, you can see what does the poet say? So strength first made a way, then beauty flowed, then wisdom, honor, pleasure. When almost all was out, God made a stay, perceiving that alone of all his treasure, rest in the bottom lay. So you can understand very clearly. So he had tried to bless man with strength, beauty, wisdom, honor, pleasure. He gave man everything. And when all was out, God told his angels that wait, wait, wait. We should keep rest in our hand. This one quality, we cannot let it go. If we give this to man too, he will never come back to us. So we have already given him everything what he needs, what makes a man to survive. So all the good, his blessings were strength, beauty, honor, pleasure, and many more were showered upon man. However, when the jar was almost empty, God suddenly stopped. He realized that out of his treasure of all the boons and blessings, only one thing was laid. That is in the bottom. Children, you can see the last line, rest in the bottom lay. That means only that rest. Rest here means contentment. The rest is used as a figure of speech here. It denotes contentment, happiness. So people will have everything, but he will not get happiness. Happiness was with God. So to seek for happiness, he had to go back to God. So let us move on to the next stanza. In the next stanza, the poet says, for if I should, said he, bestow this jewel also on my creature, he would adore my gifts instead of me and rest in nature, not the God of nature. So both should losers be. So God explains very clearly. For if I here means God, He Himself said that if I give this jewel also, this jewel of rest, this jewel of contentment on my creature, He would adore all my gifts and He would never adore me. He would never worship me. So I feel that people should worship God, worship nature, God of nature, or else we both will be losers. People will also never realize what is lost in them. They will always be happy, always be contented, and they will forget that there is something which they need to seek for. So, for this one thing, God decided, God thought that if He granted human beings with the blessing of rest or contentment, they would love the gifts that He has given them more than they would love Him. God feared that giving human beings the quality of being content and happy with their achievements and wealth would make them forget about God. Man would be comfortable in his life. He would forget the creator of the earth. This way, man would lose his connection with God and God would lose power over man. So this was what God's decision, and God wanted that people should go back to Him. to the moving on to the next slides. So this is your last paragraph. Yet let him keep the rest, but keep them with repining restlessness. Let him be rich and weary. What do you mean, weary, children? Weary means tired. Be very, very sick and very slow, that at least if goodness lead him not, yet weariness may toss him to my breast. Make him come back to my heart. This will connect me, and people will reach out to me, and then I will pull them out like a pulley. So this is where the God wants to tell. The poet brings in the pulley here. So he tells, I will pull man out from that weariness. He will be rich and weary also. So he will not be satisfied. So to seek satisfaction, he will come to me. And when he comes to me, I will take him to my heart, take him close to my heart, and give him that comfort. So that was God's plan. And that made him keep one good quality with him. So at the end, God decided that He would let man have everything else except rest. He decided to deprive man of satisfaction and peace of mind. Though man had all the materialistic treasures, he was also burdened with feelings of discontentment and fatigue. Fatigue means tiredness, discontentment that came from what he didn't possess, and fatigue from handling his materialistic possessions. Thus, not because of his goodness, but for seeking satisfaction and solace, man would always return to God and pray to him for comfort. And this was what the poet wanted, and this was what was God's call. God wanted all the human beings to come back to Him at least for one thing, that is comfort, that is happiness, that is rest. So here God works as a pulley, and the man who is operating the pulley from his end, and he has given the human being everything except that one. So as a result, he is just holding that thread tight, that if you come up, then God will pull you up. If you come to that bucket of water with to seek blessings of God, God will surely pull out the bucket from the well, and finally you will be happiest forever. So I hope the poem is clear. Now you can write the appreciation of the poem for it.